Secretly, I'm a very tall midget.
Oh, hi! Welcome to another episode of a Starter and a Chaser podcast. I am John Passow.
I'm Eric Chmielewski, aka Chim, filling in for Joe Clarke.
Wow.
Thanks for having me on again.
You are quite tall.
Oh, thank you.
Today, we are reviewing something from Charbay Distillery in Ukiah, California.
Right in the neck of the woods where you used to live.
Correct. We're going to be reviewing their S flavored whiskey, and S stands for stout, and their double and twisted, which is also a beer-based whiskey.
2 beer-based whiskeys today. That's very interesting.
It's a twofer. Now, of course, we've done Charbay before. Link up here for some of their episodes. We've done some of their vodkas, but now we're finally getting a chance to try some of their whiskeys, and I'm really excited about this because I've heard good things. Charbay Distilling originally started back in 1983 in Mendocino County, and it's a 13th generation master distiller that is behind the helm of it. And these, by the way, are
passed down from generation to generation.
Starting in Yugoslavia, I think.
Wow.
That's
In
a
1751.
lot. That's a lot of alcohol over the years. That's impressive.
Over the centuries.
Yeah. But they use an alembic still, alembic pot still, to distill their whiskeys, as opposed to the column still that they do for.
What does that mean, an alembic pot still, as opposed to
so like column stills obviously are a straight column. They have plates in there that strip out a lot of things because it hits the plate and then condenses and falls down and gets redistilled. Whereas a pot still is more of a classic still, like they would have used in France for cognacs.
Okay.
And that won't cause the recondensation and restripping of all the flavors. So
a lot less is stripped out.
Yeah, a lot less
flavor-wise.
stripped out. That's why they use vodkas on the column, make vodkas on the column stills, because they can get a cleaner product, more flavor neutral. But their double and twisted is the first one we're going to review, and that's 90 proof. And this is a blend. You want to tell the fine folks what it is a blend of? Chad?
It's a 50% 4-year straight whiskey. And let's see, and then 30% of it is 8-year stout whiskey from
Bear Republic.
Bear Republic's
right?
Big Black Bear Imperial Stout. I think it's an Imperial Stout at least. Yeah. Okay. And then 20% is a 4-year Pilsner whiskey, which Pilsner beer of Bear Republic. Probably their double aught.
Yeah.
Assume.
We're assuming that because it doesn't say on the website which Pilsner they're using. But that's the only Pilsner that I think Bear Republic does.
That
but
you know of.
If you know of a different one, be sure to leave in the comments what it is and give us a thumbs up while you're down there. Now, the second one we're going to review here is their S hop flavored whiskey. And both of these are lot number dos. S stands for stout, or maybe it's super. This could be super whiskey.
Super hopped whiskey.
And it is 99 proof. And it's distilled from Bear Republic's Big Black Bear Imperial Stout, which is 8.1% ABV, and made with 5 different grains and several different hops. So these are both beer-based. They both hops in them, which you generally don't find in whiskey. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work out.
And so what this distillery did is they bought these beers from Bear Republic uncarbonated.
Yes.
And so they weren't bottled or canned or kegged. The distiller just bought these beers and then distilled them for this whiskey.
Correct.
That's really interesting.
And then aged them. And by the way, the S flavored spends 29 months in French oak. So
have you ever heard of other distilleries doing this, buying beer to distill, for whiskey or for spirits?
This is actually the first time I've heard of that.
Before,
yeah,
so
I've heard.
Maybe you might have.
I've heard breweries that become distilleries like Rogue or New Holland. They're using the beers that they brew normally to distill, but for a distillery to buy an outside company's beer, this is the first that I've heard about it.
Okay, that's really interesting. Yeah.
Chum, get a nose in the double and twisted. Tell us what you're picking up.
There's a lot going on here.
Ooh.
Good caramel malt sweetness right up front, like you would probably get from the beer. If if this was actually the beer in my hand, that would probably be. It's pretty prominent in a lot of beers, especially imperial stouts. That
Yeah.
have a lot of roast. Heavily malted. Obviously to get that higher alcohol content in a beer. So this definitely has that. I'd say I'm getting like a medium charred oak, not
Okay.
real light, not real charred, real heavy, kind of in the middle. And green, which I don't know, maybe that's the hops.
Okay.
Like something kind of leafy, green, planty a little bit, which is probably not typical, I think, for whiskeys or bourbons.
First time I've heard of it. So.
It's very subtle, but it's noticeable
It's definitely okay.
For my nose.
All right, now what about the S, hop flavored?
Definitely caramel malts once again. But this is darker. I want to say if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The smell is a darker malt smell, maybe a little bit more pungent.
All right.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oak is a little bit heavier too, a little bit more darker charred oak on this one.
Okay.
Than I feel on the other one. It still has a little bit of that like green, leafy, which I imagine would be the hops. Because there's at least several different hops that we know of in this one. Hence the name S hop.
Mm-hmm. So diving in, double and twisted, which by the way refers to the good stuff that runs out of the still as steam, doubling and twisting on itself.
Neat.
So there we go.
Prost it.
Prost. Spicy.
Oh yeah, like baking spice right up front. And let's look at the color on this one though. This is
Gold.
like a light to medium gold. Yeah, definitely gold as opposed to a copper color. I feel nice legs on this one.
Yeah, this is a
inside
thick
of the
one.
glass there. Yeah.
I'm going back for a second. Molasses and spice. And
Very molassesy.
I'm getting kind of a hot bitterness.
On the back end there a little bit, on the kind of side of my tongue, back of my tongue.
This is kind of like IPA-ish, actually, I feel.
It's like I feel I'm getting a little bit of that, how I would describe the hops, because obviously I've had so many hoppy beers. It's like a piney hop a little bit. Piney, earthy, a little bit floral hops.
I would definitely go with piney and floral.
Yeah.
I could see earthy, kind of forest floral a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I meant. Yeah, that's a good term for it.
I'm going back for a second. Slightly syrupy mouthfeel, but it doesn't have that like cloyingly sweet flavor that would go along with it.
Yeah.
But this is a thick drink.
And with that last sip, I really got more peppercorn notes that time.
Yeah, it's kind of like pink peppercorn I get. It's not like black peppercorn or white peppercorn. It's more pink peppercorn for me, which oddly enough isn't actually a peppercorn. It's in the rose family. It's got this lighter peppercorn note to it.
And I feel like the hop flavors I'm getting from this match what I said for the smell, kind of like the leafy green, plant aroma,
vegetable.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take a sip before we get onto the S hop flavored whiskey.
Cleanse the palate.
Just a little. Oh, this one's darker. Not by a lot, but decently darker.
Noticeably darker. Yeah. Dark gold, coppery kind of color, amber. Yeah.
Prost.
Nice legs on this one too.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know how to describe that. Wow. I'm going back for a second.
I definitely get, caramel malt, and I get definitely feel I get some baking spice on this one.
Okay.
Cinnamon, a little bit. Cinnamon, nutmeg, maybe just a hint of ginger, those kind of baking spices.
You nailed it.
And also,
it's ginger, cinnamon. There's kind of like a hot pepper note. It's not like the heat of a hot pepper, but it's kind of like cayenne flavor almost.
It's like a hot chocolate that has a little bit of cayenne in it. I'm also getting a little bit of chocolate, which I was about to mention. So when you mentioned a little bit of peppery, so that reminded me of that. So that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, you can tell that this is stout based because it does kind of have that like chocolatey roast note that you would find in an imperial stout. But it's interesting. This one's 99 proof, and the first one's 90 proof. Both don't taste high gravity, doesn't taste hot, but the 90 proof is thicker than the 99 proof for the mouthfeel. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say that sounds correct. And now also hitting my palate, bigger charred oak notes than I got at first for the.
I could
for
see
the,
that.
the barrel.
I get a lot more
now.
barrel on this one, which is ironic. It's 29 months as opposed to 4 year, and 8 year blend for the double and twisted. This definitely has a lot more defining oak characteristics. It's not quite splintery, but it's
borderline.
Barrel. It's barrel forward.
Yeah.
This is kind of, the more it sits on my tongue and the finish I'm really kind of diving into, the more kind of like big red gum, that cinnamon gum.
Okay. No.
I'm getting that.
I probably haven't chewed that gum in
I know,
20 years
me
or
too.
something. But yeah, no, I can. That's a good comparison. I could see why you would say that.
Jim, final thoughts. Charbay Distillery, Ukiah, California. Double and twisted and S hop flavor.
Both excellent. I think they're both fantastic. They're both unique. They both have characteristics for me in the aroma and the flavor that I don't think I've had in a whiskey yet. This really stands out in a good way. And I feel for both of them, all the different flavors are so well integrated.
Okay.
They really just mesh really well together.
Nice. I have never had a hop flavored whiskey. I've had hop flavored everything under the sun, from mead to wine to just weird stuff. I've even dipped hops in chocolate before.
Oh yeah,
that was actually really good. A couple of those, you're laid out because they
sleepy time.
It's sleepy time. The double and twisted, I love the meatiness of it. It's got a lot of complexity to it, but that weight without being sickeningly or cloyingly sweet, that syrupiness with all the flavors, and the fact that it features hops pretty predominantly. I mean, it's not IPA level bitterness, but it's almost IPA level hop flavor.
I would agree.
Yeah, to have that in a whiskey is really cool because I'm a hop head.
Me too. Yeah, we both like the hoppy beers.
And sure. The S hop flavor whiskey is while both of these are beer based, they're both very different. The S flavor, I would say, is my number 2. The double and twisted was my favorite. It's lighter in body and it's spicy. But once again, it's got that hop note and it features the stout really well. I mean, both of these are very well crafted spirits.
Well done, Charbay.
Kind of what I come to expect from them, from all the products that they've had, is just, it's really good quality. Millerod, the gentleman that's the master distiller there, he knows what he's doing. So if you get a chance, give these a try. Jim, that was our episode.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Fantastic.
Thanks for filling in. If you folks enjoyed, be sure to hit like, thumbs up, subscribe, whatever it is on YouTube these days, whatever these kids are doing. Be sure to do the same. And how tall are you?
Big midgets or just like really small giants?